Hello from Ken Lace channel again. I was talking about my last video. I was talking about the Maasai tribe, and I was just going over how they can be so lean and eat the foods that they eat. Well, I'll tell you one thing. These people, just like the Inuits, Eskimos, okay, for instance. Well, these are the foods they had to eat. They couldn't grow agriculturally, okay. And they didn't have the means to, especially the Inuits, because the Inuits, they lived in an area where it was just frozen all the time, so they didn't have no other choice but to eat meats and fats. Okay, so that's what that was about, as far as how these people will survive, and not only survive, but they thrive as well. These people were agile people, and if you look at them, that's just the way that's what they did, and they did very well. And I did my travels a little bit, and when I was stationed in Japan, for instance, I noticed that a lot of the Japanese ate stuff like pork, and people think that Japanese are mostly vegetarians, and it depends on where you live, but they eat a lot of meat in their foods, and they do, they eat more meat than you think they do, and yeah, they have longevity and all that stuff, but the idea is that's what they also eat a high carb diet, and they probably have a lot of problems with sugar diabetes, and they have some other problems, but they supposedly have longevity, which yeah, they do compared to American and Western Europe and some of the parts of Western Europe, but that's what they do. Now, I mean, like, back to the P90X, like me, I'm also trying this as well. I'm gonna try to eat a diet consisting of, how I'm gonna do my dinner. I'm gonna eat instead of eating a big dinner, I'm gonna eat small dinner. I'm gonna eat the least in my dinner, okay, because that's important. And I'll eat the most in my breakfast and eat the next to the most in my lunchtime. And there's an old saying that goes like this: eat like a king for breakfast, you eat like a queen for lunch, and you eat like a pauper for dinner, okay? And I'll give you the reason why. Okay, first of all, we've been given wrong advice. Like I told you, most of us has been given wrong advice. And the wrong advice is we eat a little bit for breakfast, okay? We eat a lot for lunch, and then we eat a lot more for dinner. We eat even bigger, okay? Okay, now first of all, what's wrong with that picture? Okay, well, what's wrong with that in the first place is you do most of your activities after breakfast. You get ready to go to work, or you get ready to go to school, or you get ready to work out, or whatever, right? You do more of your activities throughout the day. You're more active, you're more alert, and that's the bottom line. Okay, supposedly that's what you supposed to be. And then around dinner time, around supper time, and around the evening, you start settling in, because a few hours you're about to go to bed, so you can start the next day. So that's the idea, okay? So what would be wrong with the picture if we did the things as normal, as usual? Like, okay, you eat kind of a small breakfast, eat a few things on your plate, and then you eat, like, maybe in your lunchtime you eat a big lunch, and then because you go out to eat whatever, fast foods or whatever, or go to a restaurant, and then you eat a bigger dinner or whatever, eat more in dinner, and well, first of all, that's a problem in that, because see, when the thing is when you're settling down, you have less caloric expenditure. Okay, we're talking about caloric expenditure. We're talking about caloric intake and caloric expenditure. Okay, that's the terms that I'm going to get to. Now, okay, you look at it, right? The more you do, the more you expend on your calories. Okay, Okay, the less you do, the less you expend on calories. Okay, and if you look at it, okay, you burn more calories, okay, when you up and going, okay, and you burn less calories when you're not up and going. That's just how it is. Now, you want to kind of do it in a good way. You want to kind of do it the way that I would say do it, like eating breakfast, the biggest meal in the day, because that's the most important meal. Okay, because you want to burn calories throughout the day, and you also want to do it at nighttime too. Okay, because the thing is you don't want to eat a small breakfast because you might as well be a sumo wrestler. Okay, that's the kind of that's how they eat. They eat. They don't eat in the morning per se. They don't eat as much. And these guys have to eat like 10,000 calories a day or more. Okay, because so that way they can be big like they are. Okay, but see the thing is they eat late. They eat big late. Okay, they sleep in, and that's their lifestyle. That's what their sport is about. Okay, it's about size and doing the sumo wrestling. Okay, and you look at it, and from what I've done some research, and sumo wrestlers don't have a very long lifespan, and these guys are from China and Japan and all that stuff, and from areas where supposedly people have the longest lifespan or one of the longest lifespans. Well, sumo wrestlers actually have a very short lifespan. Okay, they even have a shorter lifespan than a lot of the average Americans. Okay, because they have heart diseases, they have sugar diabetes. When about the time they're 35 years old or 30 years old, they start suffering these problems. They might, they start them off as kids so they can grow big. They may not be all tall, but these guys are huge. There are some huge ones. But they start off as a child, and they train them up, okay, as a child, and that's how they eat. So if you look at it, that's the nature of the sport, okay, is the size, okay, is to grow in size, because that's what sumo wrestler basically is. So you knock the other guy down, or you slam on the other guy, whatever, with your size, and you're both big anyway, and that's the idea. Okay, well, you don't want to do that. Okay, if you want to live a healthy life, you don't want to eat big late. Okay, you want to eat the smallest late, because the idea is you want to continue burning your calories. You don't want to have too many calories to burn, because because after that, you only burn so much at a time, and then the rest gets stored up, okay, into your fat cells, okay, and your fat cells do grow. The number of fat cells that grow and stuff like that. And I was doing some research on fat cells, and your fat cells, you don't never reduce in the number of fat cells you have. They're pretty much set. But you can reduce the size of your fat cells, you can reduce the size of them. And I don't know if that's 100% true or not, but I'm going to do more research on that. But it's pretty much set, okay, all right? So that's what I wanted to go over. Now, I went over a lot of stuff right now about health, wellness, and fitness, and nutrition, and I just tell you, exercise is a very important aspect as well. And it's sad that many physicians, many medical professionals don't know those areas too well. They only know how to give out medication. They only know pharmaceuticals. I mean, they don't really know how the body really works, And when I go to the doctor, I'm very frustrated, going to the doctor, But, they don't know a lot. So they're misinformed in the medical schools that they go to. Okay, they hugely misinformed. And that's just why a lot of the people are misinformed. I mean, it's like the blind leading the blind. And I said a lot, and I was just having fun doing these videos. But I just want to let you know I am so excited about my program that I'm starting. And thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.